Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Health paid a working visit to the Food and Drugs Authority to familiarize themselves with the operations of the authority since the year began. After a closed meeting, the chairman of the committee stated that the committee is indeed satisfied with the work that the Food and Drugs Authority has been engaged in since the year began. According to the chairman, the Food and Drugs Authority are constrained in several areas and need government support to be able to work much more effectively. He also added that the Food and Drugs Authority needs to be beefed up as far as logistics is concerned to ensure that they are able to serve the Ghanaian public.
We visited the FDA. We are satisfied with their operations between January to date. Ghana's FDA is one of the foremost in Africa, if not number one. In the midst of scarce resources, they are excelling. However, they are faced with a lot of fitting issues which has to be tackled. We expect FDA to be so resourced to be able to accredit or approve the use of vaccines in the sub-region and even for Ghana. In so doing, they will have to be accredited by WHO to level 4. And that will be the level 4 classes. I think there's only one in the world, so there will have to be like 2 or 3. And that will need them to set up a molecular laboratory which is ongoing, and it's going to be so expensive to maintain it because that one is an eagled eye thing by the WHO. So this is where they need a lot of resources. So we have admitted that capping to them could have been useful in the past, but going forward with the enormity of expectations ahead with regards to level 4 vaccines for malaria, vaccines for hepatitis, that will be the only country in Africa. So it will be one kind that I would say continuous capping of FDA has outlived its usefulness. I mean, you can't go into the next year with FDA being capped whilst you expect them to be on top, and vaccines, they will bring vaccines from manufacture vaccines from Rwanda, from Senegal. Several countries will come to Ghana, and then they will be struggling with resources. And I have every reason to let you know that they are struggling with resources because they are being capped. For instance, you will know that in about 10,000 institutions are supposed to be inspected by FDA, and they are doing about 7,200 or almost about 8,000. So 2,000 are not, and it's about food. There are a lot of vendors who are selling who are not being inspected. So it's no fault of the FDA, but it's just because they are constrained because of the policy of capping. So more ever than before, this is a time that they have to be decapped so that they can have the free space to be able to go on the drugs and they go on the foods, and that we are safe as a people. So we've come to realize that this is very important for us to speak about for FDA. And we look forward to meetings with the Ministry of Finance and also the Minister of Health so that we can be able to engage them and prove to them why it's important that we should let FDA go. And we don't have to treat FDA as a cash cow. Treating FDA as a cash cow going forward is not the way to go. More than ever before, this is the time that they need to have money to be able to keep their standards. Otherwise, a lot of food safety issues will be there. You've seen about this palm oil thing which is being queried. You may not be able to export to EU now because you have to have it to be subject to a lot of tests. And they are not able to do those tests because they are constrained. So when they have the free space, some of these issues which appears to be disgraceful, we will not face it. So we will stand together as a committee and talk about this. I would hold for Ranking to say a few words if he has some.
The safety of our food and our medicine lies with the FDA. We don't have money to buy logistics for FDA. The machines are the ports that are used to determine whether or not the foods that are being imported into the country are safe has broken down. So now they have to take the samples from the port to this place before they go back to tell them the results. There are a lot of challenges. You put somebody at the port to inspect huge volumes of imported foods and you pretend to pay the person. Then the person also pretend, as the former president John Agyekum Kufuor said, the person also pretend to be doing the inspection at the port. And once the person pretends to be inspecting those foods at the port, we will not pretend to be dying, we will die, we will be dying. And so it's about time government get its priorities right. The FDA is a very sensitive institution, and we as a committee will be united to pursue the interests of the agencies under the health sector, of which the FDA is no exception. Thank you.
Now, away from that, the national chairman of the NDC, Mr. Ofosu Ampofo, has